Obviously, since January 1st from last year, Bullet of Six Cougar has made the prequel, which was the same title as me, and it became one of the most successful fan-made movies from Bullet of Six Cougar's channel, before the first Hanazuki and Friends movie came out on Friday, May 13th, which was the unlucky day for all of us, but was an successful movie as well. So, today we're going to tell you guys an history of Venos. And always remember, we're going back to the early life where it was uploaded last year of October. From about 10 years ago, Venos was a moonflower, unlike Hanazuki, and grown a treasure tree. But the treasure wasn't working. And then the big bad comes for the attack on Venos's moon, and he retreats from his moon. He jumps into his space surfer, and flies it, and then his moon is gone. Luckily he was safe and sound, but not for long. His space surfer has been hit by his destroyed moon. He's about to impact another moon. Venos felt lost, and he was stranded on Grimstar until he met Lord Blackness on Grimstar, and he was raised by him. Like a father to Venos, Blackness trains Venos to become a dark ninja. After Venos has completed his training by Blackness, he was ready to wear the armor to slay the Moonflowers. And that's how Venos becomes Venos the Vengeful, by wearing his mask and armor. There's an ongoing mission since I was in Dark Ninja. Lord Thatcher has revealed my goals, even though he is still the villain, but anyways. Venos continues his ongoing mission, and continues slaughtering every moonflower on every moons as he could. He shoots 2 male moonflowers, stabs a female moonflower, and destroys most of their moons, leaving them to obliterate. Now the prequel has came out since it was the first anniversary last January of this year. When we have a word with Moonbots, I have asked them that are they searching any more moonflowers yet. Then Moonbots did, but there are no sign of those moonflowers, but instead there are some conversation on Moonflowertopia. When I opened the scroll, I met Lord Blackness, and he told me that there was a moonflower president named Lord Thatcher. Since you guys haven't heard of him, he's an good turned evil president of Moonflowertopia who wants to destroy us all. Now back to the plot. When I called Moonbots to join me in this conversation, I told Moonbots that we're going to fight the Moon Soldiers. However, Ben has commanded Moon Soldiers to retreat, and then he returns to Moonflowertopia by then. The following plot what you about to see was called in plot twist. When it's my first arrival, I have uncovered Lord Thatcher's shocking secret about the parents, only to unwittingly become the father for Lord Blackness. Not only that, but Thatcher deactivates the shield when I came back to Grimstar. During the mission, Lord Thatcher have Moon Soldiers with him so to keep out of Moonbots. When the drones came, they have hunted down several Moon Soldiers. Luckily the shields for Moonflowertopia is about to be repaired. But however, when Mizumi got captured and Diz was hypnotized by Lord Thatcher's Moon Soldiers, I told everyone to hold their fires, and Ben was about to hunt down Lord Thatcher while the 3 ninjas, by the name of Benjamin Boyega, Lloyd Hughes, and Chad Connor, are able to heal her up. When Lord Thatcher escaped, Ben has been shot. I came closer to him, and he told me that Lord Thatcher did a lot of crimes today. We all have in car chase. When Lord Thatcher orders Moon Soldiers to hunt me down, he is arrested and was fired from the Moonflowertopia election as an president, as he was sent to prison. Luckily, Mizumi has been healed up, but she still hates me for all the crimes that I did. When I already hunt down the rest of the moonflowers I did, Lord Blackness only command me was search and hunt the little girl named Hanazuki down. But since the 3 voice roles have been uncredited, I'm now going to reveal the voice cast from the uncredited roles. Jonathan Pryce narrates in the opening scene, while Klaus Bang makes a cameo appearance as Derek, who kidnapped by the Dark Alliance. An animated clip from the film, featuring Cassandra Lee Morris as Kiyozuki, is included after the credits. And at last, the first Hanazuki and Friends movie came out on May 13th that last year. And it was going to be my return, but this time Adam Driver plays the role of me in Hanazuki's cool 2017's version. Let's get this thing started. And remember about what I have told you from the prequel of Hanazuki prequel franchise? Well, I have arrived at Grimstar, and was able to using drones just like the prequel. 10 years later, Venos finally returns back to Grimstar, proving to them that he has slayed down the moonflowers he can find. The Moonbots pay him to capture the girl named Hanazuki, even kill the rest of the other species. As Venos accepts their offer, he attempts to use a gunshot on his broken treasure into pieces. Venos uses the two drones to start down the tracking on Hanazuki's moon. And I always remembered that I have met Hanazuki and Kiyozuki, and this is how I always turned evil, unlike the prequel. Now let's read this. When Venos throws a grenade outside of Hanazuki's house, Venos enters the house and shoots tranquilizer darts on 3 Himkas, making Hanazuki and Kiyozuki angered at him due to his threat. As he introduces himself, he claims about how unsuccessful he was for growing a treasure tree in the past, and orders his drones to destroy their home. Hanazuki and Kiyozuki flee from the drones. They are surrounded by a large fire. Venos is about to strike the two, until Moroshi blocks him off, resisting the blades, and knocks him out. They fought and faced each other. Then Kiyoshi eventually kicks, and Zukuro bites Venos' arm. But Zukuro was knocked out. Until Hanazuki's friends surrounded him, and demanded him to stop all of this damage. Now this is the first spoiler that you guys don't want to hear about. Unmask Reveal. Back on the Dark Alliance system on Grimstar, Hanazuki was captured by Venos before revealing his unmasked face. He brings Hanazuki to Blackness, proving to him that he has finally captured the Moonflower. However, once Blackness is revealing Hanazuki's destiny is to kneel, Venos coldly shoots him as a betrayal, and he becomes the ruler of the Dark Alliance. Hanazuki sneaks into the Dark Alliance system to discover the truth of the Venos, and his moonbots are ready for a ship invasion to invade Moonflowertopia. Venos orders his troops to move out and to begin his conquest on blowing up Moonflowertopia. At last, our final confrontation, but our second spoiler death was that I have been sizzled to death and imploded. After most of his ships were destroyed, Kiyozuki gets knocked out by his drones. Venos orders his drones, which he was able to use to shoot Hanazuki out, and she gets nearly injured. Venos was finally about to strike Hanazuki down with his swords, until Little Dreamer came to remind Hanazuki to use her lunar energy to stop her enemies. Enraged, Venos orders his drones to kill Hanazuki, then he gets kicked by Kiyozuki and Benjamin fights him, and Moroshi restrains his fist to prevent him from killing innocent people. He shouts never, and refuses. When Hanazuki uses her lunar energy, destroying most of the drones into ships, alone, he decides to attack Hanazuki with his sword and guns instead. The lunar energy destroys his swords as he charges at Hanazuki before Hanazuki playfully butt bumps him out. He uses the gunshot but misses it on Hanazuki, so he charges at Hanazuki again but misses once again. Venos swore to take Hanazuki's lunar energy so he can be the most powerful dark ninja in the Luniverse. With Hanazuki humiliating him, Venos is essentially about to charge and impale for the last time until Hanazuki finally was willingly to use the lunar energy to destroy Venos. The power is ultimately too much for Venos and begins to sizzle. The lunar energy runs through his body and levitates in the air. At last he implodes and dies, and he is defeated once and for all. To those who are still joining us, thank you for listening. You may now leave, the door is now in the right.
Come back soon.